That felt like a long intro. But yeah, hi everybody. Thanks so much for joining. This is our second edition of our weekly catch-up coffees, where we just speak about different things. And this week we're speaking about, can AI power an entire marketing department? I have my reservations, but I'm really keen to get into it. Please just remember, this is a super informal discussion every single week. We really encourage everybody to drop comments. If you want to join the call, drop your name as well. We'll send a link and we can have up to 5 extra people in here. So there's that. But yes, let's move into it. I'm Travis Meadows, founder of Colossio AI, and this is my business partner, Stefan.
Hey guys, I'm Stefan Moritz. I'm the director here. I'm a director here at Colossio. And yeah, guys, welcome. If you're joining us, if you joined last week, welcome again. If you're new here, buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. This is very conversational. So I just want to remind you guys, if you have any questions or any comments, observations, please let us know in the comment sections. We'll either get to it during the live or afterwards, but we'll definitely get back to you. So Trav, do you want to take it away?
Absolutely. So the pressing question, right? Can AI power an entire marketing department? So to look at some of the functions, right? So which functions can AI replace? Strategy, that's for me, it's a hard no. I think everybody in this room can respect that, specifically because of like a lot of old data and everything like that, but the creative EQ, brand positioning side of things. Second, copywriting, 100%. There's been multiple cases globally, good ones locally that we can get into as well, where copywriting has been entirely replaced by a single person just prompting. So very, very interesting on that. For me, sales support, kind of not really in marketing, but a part of it, from lead form submissions and your inbound inquiries. It's a 50-50 for me. I see I skipped design. Steph, you've got a bunch on that. Also 50-50 there because of the amount of input that's required. And then also down to analytics and reporting. I think we're pretty much there based on what Colossio really is today. But so enough about that, right? So sales support. Where is AI good? So give you a use case that I'm quite passionate about that I haven't even looked at, but we're currently looking for a house. It's another house, and we'd like to move into a bigger spot. But in the real estate industry, people are historically, the agents are historically very busy just because of the amount of people that move and their circumstances change. And that for me is a great use case, because you can pre-qualify a person using a voice agent, which we can get into through Ninja AI. But ultimately, you can pre-qualify people with a voice agent, an automated process. But within that, what we are getting is that the calls that are coming through, if your agent isn't well versed on your business, if the AI agent isn't conscious of what your business is, it's going to get back into a bit of a feedback loop. It can sound robotic if you play with the different LLMs with, say, 11 Labs, plugging into, say, GPT-4o or your GPT 3.5. It sometimes changes the accent, so that's very interesting. The other part is that, for me, like, I want to deal with human. I just want to speak to a human, because you have that connection that you can understand if someone's frustrated and they aren't going back into a small thing, right? So a look at sales support. For me, it's not really under marketing, but if we have to look at it, so Gamma is an AI presentation building tool. I was showed this a couple of months ago, and I've used it once, but it's pretty interesting. So you can generate a presentation from a single line. So you can say, excuse me, it's a presentation, a website, or a document. You can choose how many cards you want. But just for this, right, let's just check, right? Let's say we're going to go for quantum computing, a lesson plan. I don't know anything about that. Let's see. So it's going to give us a breakdown and outline. That's quite interesting. It seems you can move things around. Can you? Yeah, you can. So I first want to go into that. And then after qubits, I want to go to quantum error correction. 8 cards. You want the text per card to be detailed. I don't want to create my own images. So this was like a really cool tool that I found that can help quite a lot. And I'm just going to select anything there, right? So while you actually, while it's busy thinking about it, you can choose your themes. I think I used this one previously. I thought it was cool. I like the colors. My wife likes purple, and I'm unfortunately pulled into that. And from that, you can generate, right? So while, just want to make sure it is sharing still, yes. So while you are busy going through this, right, it's able to generate things very, very quickly. If you need to create a presentation for a client, and you have all your business context, it's going to ultimately just do all of this for you. So very interesting. I don't think it's quite there yet, but it's cool. Kind of does the job. It's there, right? So that's the one app that I found. If anybody wants these links, just drop it in the chat. Happy to share. The other part that I mentioned with sales support was the calling, right? So with calling, here's a Ninja AI, for argument's sake, one of our businesses, where you can quite literally get an inbound or an outbound agent to either be your secretary to accept any kind of incoming calls, or do any outbound if you have any old leads. Excuse me. I wouldn't, just to be very clear, I wouldn't let this disrupt your currently working model. So I would only use something like this for outbound, specifically for dead leads or anything that's not really generating any revenue. So something super, super interesting here that we're finding, right? And lastly, Creatify AI. We aren't affiliated with this company at all, obviously, but just super, super interesting is that you can now create human video ads. So it's people when it loads. Let's see if I can just refresh my screen here. But ultimately, it can create these video ads for your business, and it's quite easy to use. I've used it once or twice, but I think we're leaning here a little bit too much now into the design side. So Steph can get into that, but ultimately, that's sales support in a nutshell, right? Strategy. Why I'm so blunt on the fact that it can't be replaced. Steph, you're super creative. I'm super creative, and every creative person who sits in a room and comes up with ideas, if you have to put that next to an AI model, I stand to be corrected, but the EQ that comes with that, the positioning of the brand, sure, if you're feeding that into your AI pre-trained model, and you are now using that to come up with ideas, maybe, but it's not quite there yet, right? But where AI is really good with strategy is like really being able to use that old data, do suggestion farming, coming up with ideas that are actually can help the team come up with more ideas. And for argument's sake, if you have to do a business plan or investor pitch deck, you can get a foundational structure out where you can kind of plug into that, right? But for me, human problems are human problems, and they're human problems for a reason. So that's the one very interesting thing for me there. The one tool that I found though, called Vima, again, never ever used them, but while searching for topics, I found that Vima, it's VIIMA.com, you can ultimately use it to come up with ideas and help you expand on your ideas for different things. So if you're trying to validate an idea for new products, or you're trying to improve processes and increase revenue, or whatever you're trying to do here, it looks like you can use these quite easily to come up with these ideas. So for me, it's just to empower us, and that's why I think the AI isn't necessarily there yet, right? So to speak about tools that are still going to empower us, from a marketing perspective, it's ultimately tools like, say, ad library, so DeFi, right? Let's say you work for DeFi and you work for Hisense, and you're trying to understand what is DeFi doing. I use ad library to understand what our competitors, what our customers, competitors are doing, and how we can actually be different from what everyone's doing, especially if you know that their ads are being successful, for argument's sake. You can use things like this and tools like this to really help you get to that. But on the other side of it for me is what we've done in Colossio is we've actually drawn in all your performance data from all your marketing campaigns and plugged it into a pre-trained AI model where you can actually see your optimal audiences that are generating the most revenue. You can see your the people who are showing promise, like your lookalike audiences, and this is all generated through AI, which is fantastic. So it just makes the ability for your teams to be creative and strategic with the content that they need, or looking at what content trends in terms of how many words work, how many hashtags, everything like that. Have a snapshot of your top performance along with some hard metrics that you need. So just some things that I think AI just can't fully do, and that's the strategic part of our business. So copywriting. A very close friend of mine, Mark Schneider, and a business partner as well. He told us a very interesting story. I don't want to give too much insight, but he told us that his entire copywriting department was, in essence, replaced by a person who can prompt and create course content for his edtech business. So what that means is that you are able to now create content 3 to 5 times faster, especially if you're using things that are structured like courses, right? Because that content is globally available. However, I do find that if you're using it for something like creating social media posts, for me, it's super repetitive. You get the whole let's delve into this content, and you're like, delve isn't a word that we use conversationally, but maybe some people do, and it's just my circle that don't. But that's the problem with AI and copywriting. However, for me, where it's really good is coming up with ideas, helping you generate content, right? Like, Steph, how often do you use AI every day?
Yeah, listen, I wish I can say that I only use it in my creative work, but I use it in my day-to-day, honestly. It's just to reword things, to come up with different ways of saying it, to come up with new ideas. I use it in multiple different tasks throughout my workday and even personal life. Like fix a recipe, fix an email. It's the same to me. It does it all.
100%. So like that the speed to get things done is just reduced so much. Creating SEO content for blogs for these 5 keywords in this industry for this business, you can create that content in minutes. You can create 5 articles in minutes, and I'm not going to click out to Claude and GPT. We did that last week, but ultimately Claude and GPT are absolutely irreplaceable in that space. So design, right? I think, Steph, I'd love you to really take over here, but before you do, I just want to show this video that I found.
Please do.
Steph saw this before, and it was hilarious because this is Luma AI, a video generating AI, and it was asked to generate what does Tour de France look like, and it's quite disturbing and quite hilarious because it's not there yet, right? So, yeah, it's just really not there. So you can see at moments it almost looks good, and then chaos,
in a second,
right?
it's just an amoeba of just moving cyclists.
Right. Like it's just
it tries.
It tries, but I mean, Steph, you dive into this, please. I think you've got a lot that you can share. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, man. Awesome. I just want to before I jump into this, I do want to preface this. There is in our previous live, we did give you guys access to a master prompting doc that Travis set up, and it's really helpful, especially when it comes to the copywriting side and the creative side that I'm going to delve into now. It just there are ways to make your experience better and more efficient if you are unfamiliar. And if you are not generating what you want. So please drop us in the comments if you just want want us to link out to the master prompting doc again that we mentioned in our previous live. But okay, the creative side. So I understand, like in the marketing sphere, a lot of resources go into the creative. And I wish I can say that AI is at a point right now where it can absolutely churn out creatives in like just precise ways. Everything looks right, everything works right, it encapsulates your vision and just creates it for you. We are not there yet. So, similar to what Travis alluded to when it comes to kind of the content generating side, the strategy generating side, it is very much a tool that is an asset to what you are already doing. It is an addition to what you are to what you currently have. And I'm going to start here by just starting with kind of video and working my way into kind of the image generating side. So what I'm going to do now, let me just share my screen. I'm going to introduce you to, if you're not familiar, to a platform called Opus Clip. Now, Opus Clip is, let's say, your marketing strategy includes a lot of long form videos, but we do know that short form is king, especially on the Instagram, the TikTok side, even the Facebook side. Short form really is key. But if you do put a lot of effort and kind of resources into your long form, you maybe want to quickly just generate those short form clips. So this platform, again, not perfect, but can get you a step closer and a step quicker to kind of getting your short form clips ready to be kind of posted. So what Opus Clip does is you put in this case, a YouTube clip. I just use our previous lives as an example, considering that our previous live was in a landscape format. So that is an additional layer of difficulty when you have to kind of clip portrait clips. So you put in your link there, it uploads it. For the sake of time, I'm not going to let it generate. I already did that. But as you add your link at the top, it'll kind of show you the thumbnail of your video. You'll be able to choose your caption, which is really important, not only for the AI algorithm to pick it up, but also for accessibility. I would always recommend having captions on there. As you go down, you can kind of set up what your short form clips the format it should be in, the length. So it is quite customizable. And as you set up the time frame, how short you want it to be, filter certain keywords, you're going to click Get Clip in one click. And what it's going to do, it's going to churn out a bunch of short form clips based on your long form video. Now, we did it landscape last time, so I didn't expect it to be perfect. But what it does do, eventually, it can clip it in a way that you are presented with a somewhat cohesive portrait short form clip. So here you see me and Travis, we're landscape, we're portrait now. The sound is good. You can edit the captions on your right-hand side here. You can download it, and possibly, if it's not perfect yet, you can always just download it in a Premiere Pro format and send it to your video editor, and they can kind of work with it from there. But this is, again, not perfect, but it does get you there quicker. It does generate those clips quicker. So that is where the video editing side. Fantastic. You save some time here. But let's have the real conversation. So how do I generate full videos with just a prompt? Now, again, wish I can say it was simple and easy, but nothing ever is. And we're just not there yet where it's one click away where you get a fully realistic generated video. So I'm going to introduce you to a platform called Runway. Now, Runway is a platform that allows you to generate videos based on text and image to video. You can do text to image. You can do video to video. It effectively allows you to add a prompt and a visual, and from that, it generates a video. Okay. So I'm going to start off with just a simple text to video. What happens here? A couple having a romantic date while drinking wine at a restaurant. The tone, always set the tone, the lighting, the camera angle. It always helps to ensure that the AI generates something as close to possible to what you envision. So the more detail, the better. But unfortunately, you are currently staring at a couple that just doesn't look right. As you can see, AI really tries. It gets the ambiance, it gets the lighting, it gets the camera angle. But when it comes to generating detail, especially when it comes to recognizable things like people, animals, specific shapes, it's going to struggle, and you're going to look like aliens drinking wine in a very moody restaurant, and that's not what we want. So again, maybe there's still work to be done here. Let's say you're thinking, let me add an image here. Adding an image always helps, especially for the AI to reference something and get a bit closer to what you want and what you envision. Also, if you have, for example, an ad campaign that has a lot of images, you can use those images to create videos. But again, we're working with people, and we're just not there yet. So even if I did add a very detailed description of what's happening, what it should produce, what the tone is, what the camera angle is, these poor 4 people are just looking wild. So
But you know what's
again,
strange?
yes, tell me.
It's like you see, who was it? Toys R Us.
Yep,
They made a video
they
using
did.
a runway, right? And their video was Hollywood. However,
Mm-hmm.
I think that there was still chopping and changing
Yeah.
between different tools and back to Premiere Pro, back to this,
Mm,
back to that. So um, it
mm.
looks like it's going to be a very different approach for designers
Yeah.
to use. You know.
For sure. And one thing I can say is that while I don't think I don't think you can expect AI to really just animate characters. It can give you somewhat of a 3D camera angle of an object without morphing it completely. And I think that's what Toys R Us did very well. The subjects of their video wasn't very animated, but rather it's almost like the camera angle changed around the object. So you can kind of work your way to make it look realistic. So there are shortcuts, but don't expect a cinematic ad with moving
Mhm.
people that look right just yet. But again, if you wanted, you can just put slight movement on this image and pull it into Premiere Pro, stack a bunch of those, and you have quite a cinematic little scene there. So this is what you have now. I don't want to badmouth where video is, because there is one thing image or creative generating does very well with AI, and that is organic shapes. Organic shapes here, if you, for example, put in an image of a forest, a bunch of organic shapes, give it a very simple description, and what you get is quite a cinematic shot that you don't really realize is AI generated, because the detail, the kind of the broken detail, is lost in the clutter of the kind of organic nature of it. So I do think where there aren't like very recognizable shapes in your videos, I think go for it. Because this, with a good voiceover, this as a kind of a clip between scenes, can
Mm.
definitely just, it can help, especially if you have images of your own that you've generated or of created, and you just want to make kind of animate it. This is perfect for it. So that's where videos are at the moment. And again, this is where it's at the moment. I can see a lot of growth in the future,
Weekly.
because we are getting better and better. Yeah,
Mm.
100%. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna go to text to image. I'm just gonna run through this very quickly, because I think this is more practically like where marketers are stuck. Like, we want to generate product images, we wanna create lifestyle images. And again, AI falls slightly short. I'm gonna just show you an old couple holding each other at the beach. All you wanted was just some kind of life policy image. And Bernie Sanders here hugging his wife, and her teeth are just a bit broken. His eyes aren't right. They've got so many hands to embrace each other. It's actually quite overwhelming. Um, it's
Yeah.
If this was a very small thumbnail, you may get away with it. I feel like it's a bit handsy with all these hands, but you may get away with it. But again, it's just not there. However, if you were to take this image and, for example, plop it into Photoshop and edit it a bit further, you may get there. But again, it's not there where it can like churn out the full life cycle of what a creative is expected to be. So
Yeah.
image generating, not there. Okay. I want to, and lastly, um, this is something that is every marketer's dream and every designer's nightmare, but it's Canva. Canva Canva's
I'm
image generating is very good. Like, I come from a design background, so like I was like, oh, let me just look at Canva. And honestly, it does a really good job. So with a simple prompt, but again, it does a really good job when it comes to a bit more abstract. So that's the preface. Strawberry smoothie. You've got your strawberry smoothie. These objects look really realistic across the board. And I was very impressed with how Canva does it. However, again, if you're expecting humans, good luck. Yeah, I do think that Canva's kind of generation of humans are the better that I've seen, but it's still going to need some real design intervention to make it look realistic, and that's not what you want. I think its power really lies in the kind of the packaging shots. From here, I'm going to touch lastly, if you're a proper designer and you're using Photoshop and you're efficient in Photoshop, I just want to
Proper
touch on that.
designer, how dare you? How dare you?
Let me live. Let me live. Let my designer's entitlement just let me live. Okay. So I've actually taken the Canva. Okay, so don't judge me. I've taken the Canva shot and put it in Photoshop. And if just to kind of illustrate what Photoshop can do, again, I don't think it's there yet, but you can kind of add strawberries on top of the smoothie, and it kind of changes the entire glass and makes it worse. Not very impressed. And I thought, you know what? Let's maybe see if Photoshop does people better. And I'm going to level with you here. Be prepared to be disappointed because I just wanted this girl here in the middle to have a straw hat. She's in a sunflower field. And who is this? Who is this scary person in the middle of the field? So didn't work out so well for me. I even decided, you know what? Are there other options that Photoshop can present me? And the thing is now she is just a straw hat. She just full on disappeared and turned into a straw hat. So happy for her, but not what I wanted. But again, let's think abstract. Let things how can AI just quickly repair things for me? Take the trees out in the background, bam, gone. Let me add some clouds at the top there. Bam, clouds. Again, it looks realistic because it's organic. So that's where we are at right now. Again, take this image and edit it further if you want small birds in the background again, but detail, don't expect much. That's where we're at. We'll check in again in a month because I guarantee you there'll be updates then again. But yeah, that's it from the creative side. Trav, back to you.
Sure. So, I mean, what's super important and quite interesting here is that we've had GPT for 2 years, just over 2 years, and it's changing every single week, and new tools are coming out that can do new things. But ultimately, it lies with the people at the top who are creating the foundational technologies. So I guess where my mind goes after this is cool. We have our content created, we have the social media schedule going out, the copy created by AI, and it's like, okay, well, how do we use it now? So for me, it's the practical users are still a little bit too general because the way we use it in Colossio is obviously just from asking questions. So you can ask questions of your data, you can get insights from your audiences, as we saw earlier, insights to lookalike audiences and potentially untapped audiences. And I think the reason for that is because AI is very good with large amounts of data. So you can ask it a lot of questions. You can give it the ability to plug into your marketing data, your Google, your Facebook, your Instagram, and put that into a database and then reference that from questions, which what we've done. So, I mean, before we jump into our stuff, I mean, if we just simply look at a company like Agency Analytics, for me, share this.
Share your screen. Yeah.
I'm not sharing my screen yet. Oh, sorry. So, I mean, if we had to look at something like Agency Analytics, right? For me, it's a great platform that integrates multiple data sources into to a single dashboard, whether it's SEO, social media, PPC, and everything like that. But then you're using this along with 3 or 5 other tools, right? So while that's fantastic and it definitely has its place, for us, what we've done at Colossio is ultimately given the ability to pull different ads, different pieces of content, into the software and the ability to ask it questions, to give advice and everything like that. So while you have the Ask Colossia at the top, you can also just dive into individual campaigns, individual ads, and actually see what that looks like. So I think the marketing for the the ability for AI to do all of these different things is just, we're just scraping the surface. Is AI going to pass and just be another one of those things like a Tamagotchi or one of those strange things? Definitely not. It's really going to be something that sticks with us and actually advances it with businesses today. So I'm very super excited to see how that goes, and I'm sure everyone is too. If anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to jump on and chat with us, just feel free. I'll drop the connect link in your DM if you drop us a message now. But yeah, really, thanks for joining, everyone. I see we've got Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube going. I don't see any questions on YouTube. I'm just going through platform by platform here.
But again, feel free to ask any questions, leave any comments. Also, if there's anything you're unsure about or want more information about in kind of the AI online marketing space, please ask, because we are doing this. We're looking at doing this every single week, every Thursday at 1 p.m. South African time. So please, if you have any suggestions, any questions, any feedback, please give it and we'll get back to you. Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Have an amazing day.